Welcome to Dorker Realms. While most gamers will be familiar with Dungeons & Dragons from the newest edition of the game, there is a movement amongst some players called the Old School Revival, taking inspiration from the design philosophy of the earliest editions of D&D and bringing them into the modern era. These games and adventures emphasize the weird, the challenging, and the hardcore. Bear witness as our intrepid players explore unusual and dangerous tales in these old school adventures. In this episode, we will be playing Colossus Arise by Harley Stroh using the Dungeon Crawl Classics role-playing system. These can be found anywhere fine dork games are sold. We go now to the table to delve into Dorker Realms. It's just like, welcome back to Dorker Realms. You know, we're having a really chill time out here.
Oh, we're doing a chill episode. We're doing a chill episode this time. Bindell here. I've been put on my tweed vest. It's a different robe, you see. I have my at-home robe and my going-out-and-about robe. So this is my tweed robe with my pipe. It hasn't been much established, but I have had a pipe this entire time in my inventory. And I smoke that when I'm at home. It kind of helps pass the time. Not that I have trouble passing the time, you see. I don't really have much of a concept of it. Anyway, we're heading off to a new, wondrous adventure that's going to be quite exciting this time around, and I wanted everyone to know that today is going to be a little more of a relaxed tone than before, and this is Ryan Roberts playing Bindell L. Johnson, the head of the Great Library, conqueror of Atlantis, opener of doors, goat owner, hand haver, tweed vest wearer, chill time having wizard.
Wow, you sounded real chill just now. We're introducing ourselves, I suppose, right?
Yes, we are. I have two new companions, so this will be the first time the audience gets to know them in this much more chill episode.
All right.
I'm Vox. I'll be playing our new character, the Dwarf Sapper, Mortimer Scrimjack.
Pleasure to meet you, Mortimer Scrimjack. My name's Paul. I'll be playing Lionel Craven Proudbrew. We're not really companions, more like business partners.
3 whole names, huh? I'm Robin. I'm going to be playing Pothos. He's a goat. My pronouns are they, them, and Pothos's pronouns are he, him.
Okay.
Sirens.
Say it in Pothos talk.
Pothos calls the 911 emergency services of Calais.
Well, that will take a really long time to get here. We're nowhere near Calais.
Oh, we're already on our journey? All right.
The Great Library isn't in Calais.
Oh, that's right. We're here. That explains all the books.
Did you hit your head?
No.
We have the best medical practitioners in the land.
It's okay. I can lay my hands on myself.
We have private rooms for that if you need one.
Wait, you guys teach massage therapy? That's amazing.
We have a new dwarf sapper who has a heated massage oil.
Well, I wouldn't exactly say that.
I thought that's what you said it was for. You said it was like a thing you put on surfaces that heats up.
Yeah, it burns really hot.
You didn't mean it was an oil for the massages.
No, like it burned through your skin and your bones and your armor, probably.
Oh, we need to renegotiate your contract. I am not as interested in this.
I'd like to re-taco his negotiation.
Well, I guess I am, but I have to recontextualize what I expect you to do. Because that sounds pretty useful too, but it's not the same use as heated massage oil for the massage classes.
Right, I was planning to join your adventure group, not your school.
Oh, that wasn't very clear at all. I guess. Anyway, I found a great new adventure I would like to take you guys on. It's a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity for any wizard. Never mind.
Not yet.
Not yet. We're just meeting now in this chill episode.
Good thing it's 2. That was a bit bumbly.
I'm going back to my room. I don't have to deal with this.
Right.
Sorry, it's just I didn't know the Great Northern Library had so many damn pets.
It doesn't. This isn't the Great Northern Library. This is the Great Library. You're lost again.
Yeah, the Wubbsy Catholics took that one down.
Going from
Bastards.
Calais to the Great Northern Library to here.
It's north of where I'm from. It's a northern library. All right, then. Semantics it is. I'll just say library.
That's the name of it.
I'm at a library.
Don't use the wrong name.
Okay. I get in trouble for using names.
Apparently.
On the reg.
All right. Well, now that there's no police chases or barking, wild, roving packs of dogs, I'm the DM, Danny.
All right. You didn't introduce yourself. That's what you meant.
That's correct. I have not yet because of all the outside noises. Anyway, once Bindel recovered from his coma, you guys returned to the Great Library in construction. And construction is proceeding smoothly, and with Bindel's fame, there's not really any shortage of applicants that are starting to turn up and showing an interest in studying at his school. As for Reza, he retired after the last adventure. You know, everybody give him a hand.
He needs at least one more.
It's okay. I can do it myself.
It doesn't take long for Reza's information network to learn that the Inquisition is mustering an army to come lay siege to the Great Library, but they won't be ready before winter to March, so plenty of time left before that happens. Happy news from back in Calais. Count Robert has petitioned the Orthodox Church to make Petra a saint officially, thanks to Bindel's recommendation. And locals in Calais already pretty much treat Petra as a saint. And due to his connections with famous adventurers, Count Robert is promoted to Duke Robert after the previous Duke of the area dies in an unfortunate peasant uprising. Meanwhile, there's been a lot of local pagans leaving out like goat effigies and like offerings of food. It's a little bit weird. But then these two new guys enter the picture, although you did kind of introduce yourselves already, so we don't need to do that over again.
Landfill 2. I feel like I know Landfill 3.
Although, you know, hordes of barking dogs and cars chasing.
It probably won't be picked up.
All right, fair enough. So some time has passed since the last adventure, when on a moonless evening, while you're all enjoying your supper, perhaps, a procession of 5 rather tall figures, each over 6 feet in height, dressed in deep robes and white masks, kind of make a procession up out of the darkness of the night towards the library. And Bindel kind of has a feeling that this is something that he's heard about in the past, because it just kind of seems like that time is right. And as these figures draw closer...
Oh god, I think it's wizard menopause!
What the hell?
It's that time! I can feel it! Something in my loins!
You wouldn't know. You told me you have no concept of time. Wait, do wizards have cycles?
Well, he's having hot flashes now, so...
Oh, I see.
I think I'm old enough, maybe.
Do all
It's
magic...
been a while.
As the figures draw closer, as they enter the library, and you get a better look at them, you kind of notice that their gait is a little strange. The slow, kind of precise way that they move, and every so often their robes kind of shuffle in a way that you catch a glimpse underneath, and you can see a chitinous exoskeleton and a few extra limbs that humans don't have. And they carry a smell of seaweed and leave a trail of seawater as they make their way over to present Bindel with a bone scroll case capped in gold and set with precious jewels that they hold out to him with what you can see are kind of insect-like arms with gloves on the end of them that don't quite fit right.
Wow, thank you. Also, Pothos, go get Edmund to clean the floors.
That looks right fancy.
Pothos gallops carefully around the water to go find him.
What is this? I feel like as I should know it, but I do not.
Will you open the scroll case?
I will.
Look at the scroll within.
Mortimer is kind of peering curiously under Bindel's arm, not over his shoulder.
The scroll is inked with arcane sigils and signs that seem to swim before the reader's eyes, and the scroll is an invitation for the great wizard Bindel L. Johnson to perform in the arcane death matches that will soon be taking place on the Isle of Dagon.
Oh, it's such an honor to be invited. Well, I guess he's not really a relative like that, but my great teacher, my mentor's mentor, once went and never returned. It was a great event. I hope. I mean, we never got word back, but, it was a great honor that he got accepted.
What was it you called him?
What?
The big event.
Oh, the wizard deathmatch on the Isle of Dagon, a mystical island that comes in and out of existence, and only those invited can ever find it. Magic works in mysterious ways there. It's quite interesting.
Doesn't magic always kind of work in mysterious ways?
Yes, but it works in different mysterious ways on the Isle of Dagon.
Right, gotcha.
That is a good point, though. It's always a little wonky.
Are there any prizes?
Oh, yes. Exactly. Great gobs of prizes.
But you got to be the last one on top of it, right?
The last one standing. I don't think you have to necessarily be on top of the island, but yes.
It's going to be a lot of strong wizards there, right?
Oh, indeed. And I assume they're traveling companions trying to run interception.
Oh, I see.
All right. Well,
It won't be just you, that's good.
I joined up with your party for one reason, and that's to take out the Inquisition.
Yes, after what they did to your family. I remember. I have a good memory.
You have no idea who I am or what I do. That's fine.
You make beer.
Yes.
Oi!
That's why they call us Proud Brews. That's right.
I think we might get along well tonight.
Yeah, that's right.
You asked to be set up in the cafeteria so you could sell it to the students. And then I was like, well, the students don't pay for anything. And then you were like, well, I got to sell it to you then. And I was like, yeah, that probably makes sense. I can't give them not beer. No one would stay.
Well, we were going to be the proud sponsor of the Garrington Games for any student from Bindel's library or school for upper learning and different type of skill sets.
I like his name better. That flows better.
Wait, Bindel's or Proud?
Bindel's School for Kids Who Want to Magic Good and Do Other Things Good Too. Great library.
Okay. But
And then I was like, it has to be at least 3 times larger. That's what I told the architects.
that's correct.
What is this? A school for ants that want to learn magic?
The really crazy part about that sign is that it spins. There's just a guy that pushes the wheel like Conan the Barbarian. It's fucking weird.
He's a warrior. He's training to be a warrior. He's one of the students.
He looks like an ass model.
I said I have a 20-year plan for you. You'll be the strongest warrior around.
That's fine. I mean, look, this isn't going to be another fire festival, so the Proud Brews definitely.
So when's it say it's taking place?
When does it say it's taking place?
The invitation says that a ship will pick you up from Calais in 2 days to take you to the tournament.
Oh, we gotta leave for Calais tomorrow. That's a good couple hours.
It's nice, Dan. Pass who wins the toys himself.
Yeah. They would have sent the ship to Caramore, since that's the closest port, but Caramore is no more.
Well, after the drought. Really.
Yeah, that really finished them off.
Also, we absorbed a lot of them here. A lot of Caramore survivors now reside in the town around the school. Let your masters who summoned you know that the message got received quite nicely, and I'm quite pleased. Thank you.
The lead creature in the procession bows its head before they turn and head back the way they came.
I'll let you guys know I was not sure if that was actually a wizard or not. That was quite the gambit, you know, because it's impolite to say a wizard to summon, because
Right, of
demeaning.
course.
But you can't tell with some of these poorly trained wizards. They get all fucked up.
I'll take your word for it.
Oh, you'll see. The frog eyes,
We're going to
And
see a bunch of wizards there, right?
bird beaks, tree limbs. You'll see all sorts of weird things.
Look, my patron god Gambrius has had me in many a drunken orgy, so let your freak flag fly, you know? Whatever.
Tentacle dicks.
You called for me, Master Bindel.
Oh, yes, there's a lot of seawater all over the place. If you could get, a mop and a bucket.
The time has finally come for the tournament at Dagon once again, I see.
Oh, yeah, do you want to come along, Edmund? I hear you went to the last one 100 years ago or so.
I've never missed one, Master Bindel. I would love that. I'll get my finest toga.
Awesome. We're bringing Edmund with us now.
Okay.
He can pick up any of our spills. It'll be great.
All right.
Well, probably don't want to pick up any of my spills.
He's also fought lions in the Great Colosseum.
It's true.
He even ate some of them.
Back in my early old age.
That's a bit odd.
That
Well-
checks out.
Have you guys gotten your rooms yet? I don't really worry about that kind of... Edmund, make sure they've gotten rooms if they haven't already.
Understood,
I
Master
must
Bindel.
prepare in my room.
All right. Everybody, by the way, this is Quill. He's my servant. He only dates chicks from Caramore, so that's all you really need to know. He's with me. He has a sword. Steals your soul. He's got my back. That's all you need to know.
Good for you, young man. I'm proud to see the tradition of catamites carried on to the modern day. Too much?
No, that's really good.
Player voice. What's a catamite?
He's implying you're fucking the little boy that you hired.
What?
To teach him how to be a man.
That was a thing in Roman society.
Oh, that's what it's called. I learned
Yeah.
that in ancient history, art history.
How are you ever going to please your wife if you haven't fucked an old man?
That's right. If you've
Paul
never
suddenly realized what he's been doing wrong his entire life.
if you've never had a dick thrust between your thighs, how are you going to know how to please a woman?
Edmund, can you send up one
Who's
of the...
editing the first episode?
You are.
Edmund, can you send up one of the invisible servants to wake me up in the morning?
Understood. I'll send Jeremiah.
Oh, I like Jeremiah.
Hey, real quick, Edmund, how do they do that? How do they wake him up? Is it like an alarm, or do they give him like a quick reach around, or how's that? Do they shake him?
They lift his beard and tickle him underneath.
Will that wake him up every time? I've heard that he's prone to passing out after reading.
Well, as long as he hasn't read forbidden knowledge and entered a coma for several days, it's usually effective.
So that's like a normal thing with this Bindel guy.
Well, it happens on occasion. One of the risks of being a wizard, you know.
I do now. Thank you, sir. All right, Quill, people think we're fucking.
Well, technically, we think you're putting it in his thighs. The modern interpretation of...
I thought you went to bed.
I heard this as I was walking away.
You did an about face, and you're like,
Actually,
Well, I just would like to educate and stimulate and.
Well, I just want to be clear that the modern interpretation of what the Greeks did is usually misrepresented. Well, sorry, Romans. Greeks too. Not all Greeks, though.
unintentionally edgy.
Mostly Greek soldiers.
Hashtag not all Greeks.
Particularly the Spartans.
Get them not to the Greek.
They didn't put that in the fancy movie.
You call that a pillar?
What's the movie?
Well, you see, you get this giant lens, and you face it into the earth, and then you have 2 gravity knives, and you use those to turn the dials, which shows you a different scene.
Hashtag
Some-
John
some
didn't
magical
see
construction, Blimey.
Coliseum.
No,
I
technically it
hardly
was
know.
mechanical.
Where's the light and the turning coming from?
The turning's coming from you turning the gravity knife.
Also, what's the pictures coming from?
Somewhere in the earth, I assume. I didn't get to look at it. A Christian broke it.
That's right. Christians ruin everything.
Seems a bit daft.
Ruin our lions.
That's okay. I'm going to go back down there and fix it.
You're going to fix our lion problem?
Maybe. I mean, I really don't know how it's constructed, so I feel like I'm just going to waste a bunch of time and money. But, you know. Okay, I'm going to bed for reals now. Don't say anything that makes me turn around midway in the hall and explain something to you.
So if time is
Walking
money,
further
and he has
away.
no concept of time,
Gone.
Bindell has no
Close the
concept of
door.
money.
No, I don't think that's correct.
Oh, I think it can be.
He had to finance this whole place somehow.
Yeah, I think this is mostly on loan.
Pothos just stands in the hallway staring at the two of you.
I don't know what we signed up for. But he crossed the Inquisition twice and survived. That's 2 more than any other person has done in this entire region. All right. I'm going to go to bed.
With Quill?
What are you doing? What are you perched like a gargoyle? You friggin' pervert!
He was in his room, and then just like a loose stone pops out the wall, and Bindell's head comes out.
My room overlooks the entryway. That's the balcony that you saw from the entryway is my room.
Do you sleep with a thread tied to the doorknob so whenever someone like leaves or uses the potty?
Guys, I'm gonna pull a ramen and pee if you keep making me laugh.
I can't help it. I got freaking Bindell, like PTSD Bindell. He's just, I seen some shit. I hear some shit. I gotta say some shit.
Well, I also have trouble sleeping nowadays. I would say ever since I read that book, but really, it's been longer than that.
I'm gonna go find a hotel and I'm gonna go check in. I'll see you guys all tomorrow. Send like one of your lesser bitch air elementals over to fetch me or something.
They're invisible servants.
Okay. All right. Jeremiah. I think his name is. Can I just call him by his name? Jeremiah? His slave name? Jeremiah?
They're contracted workers.
All right. Whatever.
Don't get
Peace.
paid anything.
Fuck you.
Calais, 2 days later, at dusk, a black-sailed ship arrives in port with no crew aboard, inciting more than a little discomfort and fear from the locals who are very hopeful that the wizard and his companions will board their devil ship quickly and be gone.
Oh, I love Calais. The people are so nice to me. Hello.
Hello! Hello! Hide your
See?
turnips, hide your turnips.
Ooh, look, a turnip for what? I'll take 3 for the goat.
Hey, you know what this month's theme for Turn Up for What is? Turnips. Oh.
What's the goat's deal?
What's the goat's deal?
Yeah.
What do you mean? The goat's like a warrior, a mighty warrior goat.
Is he wearing his armor right now?
The armor would probably actually make you less armored, so no.
That's right, we have to correct.
It's just -5.
Okay. Because we did that wrong previously. Because it's like the highest of Pothos's natural armor, or the
Yeah,
armor
like
they're
if we
wearing.
went and
Like,
got
we don't
you,
stack them.
if we went and got you plate, you'd probably get more out of it. But the Goat of War will naturally outgrow any armor except for like the most magical,
Oh, okay.
which is crazy expensive to make apparently.
What is a fighter then?
Oh yeah, the goats can like. Oh, just trust me, that goat can really fight. Also, it might be.
I was gonna say he stands looking at you, but he stands and makes eye contact with you. Because you're a dwarf.
Also, it might be a hell goat. Maybe. It's not a maybe. It's a hell goat.
That's actually pretty interesting.
Pretty cool though.
You
Sounds
got any
cool.
cool, like, abilities or something?
Oh, yes. Watch this. Pothos, did you see that apple that's on the roof over there?
He leaps onto the roof.
Oi, my apple! Alright, you can have it.
See? Oh, that shingle's loose too.
Eats that too.
On my roof!
Then he
see
pees
why
in
the-
the shingle hole.
Blimey, I can see why they're afraid of you.
Like I said, he's kind of a hell goat. He's not actually like evil so much as he's just kind of a dick to people.
Well, he's a goat. They're all a bit
Yeah, could just be
balmy.
goat. I mean, I caught a guy who was eating kids though, and the goat tried to kill him before I could even turn him into justice. So I think the goat has a good streak too. Here's a gold coin.
Wow. I've never even seen one of these before.
Buy a new roof.
Buy a new house.
Buy a new family.
Right, I guess we better be on.
Let's get on our boat
So, there are two of them.
to the Isle of Dagon.
Two boats?
One boat.
Okay, one boat. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I
That
don't
sounded like haggling. 2 boats, 1 boat.
I don't see a crew of much sort, so I guess we just trust they're gonna... I don't have any ship knowledge.
It's good. It'll be fine.
It's engaging in wizard combat.
Mortimer looks slightly nervous as he boards the boat.
Worst case scenario, I'll fly home.
But it looks like he's less nervous of the ghost boat and more nervous of the being surrounded by water.
Look, we're men and women defending out our realm. It's gonna be good.
I thought we were going to fight a bunch of wizards.
A bunch of what?
Wizards.
Oh, wizards.
You know, mages, spellcasters, that's all.
Yes, we have to win so Shao Kahn doesn't conquer our realm.
Let's do it.
Wait, that's the whole impetus behind this thing?
Cast your might.
Bindell Johnson.
Dun 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 dun. Porthos.
Once you have all boarded the ship takes up its own anchor and sails out of the harbor, leaving the 5 of you alone on the ship as it sails towards its destination.
That's 2 bits worth of unsettling.
On the
You're forgetting about Edmund. He's right over there.
Shouldn't there be 6 of us then?
Oh, that's
Quill.
right, Quill. So there are 6 of you.
You know, the boy I'm not
I
fucking.
forgot about him. His butt buddy. Oh, sorry. That, again, not technically accurate. See, that's what I mean. It gets misrepresented all the time.
Frottage fellow then?
Much better. Also, the entire negative connotation about the whole thing is just... I don't want to perpetuate that. It's fine if you are. It's cool.
Here's the thing. We not said anything but 5 words about it.
Frottage
And-
fellow.
You're the one that keeps, like, jumping on it. And you're educating me on it. Are you pitching something I'm not catching?
What? No.
Are you trying to slip a Lucky Pierre in my souffle? Because, look, I sell beer. I'm a simple man. I have 3 children and a wife.
I thought you had.
No, they're fine.
Oh. I totally misunderstood your backstory. I thought you wanted to kill them.
No, man, I just...
No, not the kids and the wife. The Inquisition, because they killed your kids and wife.
Oh, they killed his parents.
What?
His other family's fine.
Wait, they killed your parents?
This is good. This is good. This is some good role playing. I'm glad. I'm like the least experienced in the group, and yeah, I'm just juggling backstories.
So are
Is
you
that happening?
So are
I
you?
was just joking.
So are you an orphan? Or where?
You know what?
Let's be honest. Orphan only counts to a certain age, right? Because at a certain point, everyone's an orphan. Because I can relate to an orphan.
Not everybody. Not if you die before your parents.
Okay, sure, but then you're dead, and that doesn't count.
I'm just letting
You're
you
not
know.
a person anymore.
Bendel, of course you're right. It's got to be, and the age when you can take care of yourself, you don't need your parents. You
Yeah,
can't be an orphan.
You're
after
no longer
that.
an orphan, right?
You ever play Don't Wake Daddy
You
and
were.
Daddy Don't Wake Up?
You were an orphan. Yeah, you were an orphan at that point.
Right.
Okay, so you were an orphan because the Inquisition killed your parents, but you now have a family, but you have a deep-seated grudge, and you want to get back at them.
I'm so glad we're alone on this boat with just the 6 of us. I feel like I'm getting to know nothing about you, but I'm learning more about me.
I'm asking.
I think you're assuming. You're making a fan fiction.
No,
out of
I'm
this.
asking. That was a question. The whole thing was a question.
You can say no if it's not true.
No, I've been saying no the entire time about things that aren't untrue, and you've been pushing
That
me
aren't
as if they
untrue.
are.
They are true. He is telling the truth. So it is real.
It's Palestine. No, God, that was a bad joke.
If you want to learn more about me, by the way, ask away. I'm an open book. But not an evil open book. A normal one.
Quill, pick up my stuff. We're going to go into a lifeboat.
We're
We're not going to drop. We're just going to hang out.
He's right. I'm a non-cursed magic book. Open.
like a grimoire of some kind, eh?
That isn't encrypted with magical writing.
Well, if we have to ask you, it is kind of an encryption, isn't it?
Okay, a lightly encrypted magical book.
I've moved the bags into the lifeboat, sir.
All right. You just wait right there.
Understood.
Hey, Edmund, if I don't jump off this ship, no, never mind.
You all right, mate?
I was right.
Are you all right?
Am I all right?
I think he has a hearing problem. Maybe that's when his house got burned down, when the Inquisition tortured it when he was a kid.
How do you know all this? We
I
only known him for
don't.
2 bloody days.
I'm just trying to fill in the blanks.
By
I'm
making it up.
I'm hoping he'll correct me.
Look, if you don't want to talk about it, there's no reason to keep pressing.
I don't know that he's really said he doesn't want to talk about it, though.
Now he's just not expressed an active interest in doing so.
Do you not want to talk about it?
Dear diary, the crew seems to be non-existent, and the idea that Bindell L. Johnson is a man of much knowledge has been wildly exaggerated. I feel like I'm moving into a neighborhood, and he's pressing me on my back in my history, on my family, casting wild aspersions, stereotypes, if you will, about heroes. I'm just a simple man who worships a beer god and wants to stop the Inquisition from shaking us down. I'm just running an honest operation, and Bindell is the only person in the land that has escaped from hell, allegedly, because, wow, what a weirdo. And 2, he sent them off when they sent their goons. It was amazing. And I've been paying the Inquisition ever since to keep Proud Brew open, and it's not been that fruitful. And Quill's with me, and they think I'm fucking them. So, I don't know what to do in this. Maybe be extra manly, maybe be more stoic. The choices are mine and mine alone.
Maybe not speak out loud as you're writing. Also, that backstory makes perfect sense. Just saying.
I have a -8 to my intelligence, or I have an 8 to my intelligence.
Holy shit,
Therefore-
a -8?
I don't think even I've seen anyone that stupid.
I'm borrowing someone else's brain.
Oh, is it Abby Normals?
It is Abby Normal. Have you been to the Haunted Mansion?
The Haunted Mansion.
I thought you was talking about the monk. It was no, that was Abbott Normal. Never mind.
Abbott Normal. See? Solid. Made a statement. Didn't make any questions about my backstory.
Okay, so, all right, let's try this again. You hired Quill to carry your stuff for you. That's the only relationship there.
I mean, what's with you and Edmund? You guys sloshing buckets together?
He practically raised me.
No, but are you guys sloshing buckets together?
No, he's like a son to me.
Really?
Maybe like a grandson. Great-grandson, even.
My genitalia haven't functioned in centuries, sir.
Look,
Yeah, I'm not comfortable with this conversation.
just because there's no
Pothos walks off to see if there's anything not tied down on the boat that he can eat.
There's not really anything on the boat
Okay,
other than
so
the stuff that you brought with you.
basically, your backstory is you are being forced into a terrible protection racket, and you just want out of it.
That's the gist of it.
Awesome. Why didn't you just say that?
I don't know. Getting in a word in edgewise is pretty difficult. It's like trying to leave to your room to go to sleep when you're being approached about the ways that men can make love.
Can you believe this guy? He just won't stop talking.
You've been asking him questions non-stop. It's not really that surprising.
God, I can't believe how much. It's like a total chatterbox. I'm going to my room for some private time. It's too loud up here.
No, don't go.
Have we got rooms on this boat?
No, don't go!
Reload. Action.
Pull the lever. Alright, so on the morning of the third day of the journey, the Isle of Dagon slowly comes into sight. A looming mountain seemingly thrust from the ocean floor. Sheer cliffs ring the isle on all sides, rising to a precipitous peak lost in mist above. Stone towers, battlements, and crenellated blockhouses cling to the craggy stone like desperate barnacles. As your ship sails closer, you spy 6 different pennants hanging above the docks, each marked with a wizard's glyph or sign, which Bindel would be able to identify. What are the new members' previous occupations? 0-level occupations?
Goat.
Yes.
Technically, farmer's goat.
I mean,
Turnip farmer.
Nice.
Mortimer was a cut purse.
Alright, so only Bindel would recognize the sigils of these particular wizards, but they are all fairly famous in their own right.
I've had a bit I wanted to do forever where I name a bunch of wizards, but I assume they all already have names.
They do.
Damn it.
You spy the sigils of Renox, the White Magister, an aging warlock who used to teach at the Southern Library, dedicated to law, and has worked as a advisor for various kings across the continent. You spy the sigil of Alred, Harbinger of Fate, a literally slimy wizard who will stoop to any low to exert his will over others.
I say this all out loud, by the way, as I'm pointing them out.
Cassica the Corruptor, an ancient sorceress with a body broken by years of service to the dark arts. You spy the sigil of Ilka the Fae, an elf who was long ago exiled by her tutors to die wandering the earth, but that is yet to happen. She's young for an elf. There's also Xander the Magnificent, a powerful but pretty mysterious wizard. You don't know too much about him beyond his name and a few mentions, but by far the most famous of all is Urzeth the Unbound, a legend in his own right, and not only is he rumored to be incredibly powerful, but supposedly he has shed his mortal body. And
Literally.
yes, literally.
As have I.
No?
Had my first shedding a couple of days ago. Well,
Peeled off like lizard skin.
a little while ago. I can't really... How long have we been on the boat?
Oh, so that's what this is, Edmund says as he pulls up like a translucent skin of Bindel.
Oh, I left that for Pothos.
even Pothos won't eat that.
Are you bloody serious?
Well, that's a problem with my master. He only gives me pickles. Horrible, horrible pickles.
Oh, it's the coin slave eating it.
I mean, we prefer not to be called coin slaves, but here I am, dancing for nickels. Do 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 do.
And as the ship draws closer, a seventh pennant is hoisted into the air above the docks, one that matches Bindel's own sigil.
So a lot of these blokes not blokes, I guess, sound pretty not good people. Sounds like you're a bit of standout in that matter.
Yes, I'm a stand-up citizen. Never done anything wrong. No, we're all terrible. I'm just a degree less terrible.
But yeah, that's basically what I was saying. You
No
stand out
shit.
in being, well, at least for Mike.
That first one wasn't terrible. He was a lawmancer.
Oh, well, okay.
Served kings.
As your ship draws into the dock, you can see that the docks swarm with strange insect men wearing white masks and ill-fitting clothes, dressed as butlers and maids, which hang off of their chitinous bodies. As the ship draws into port, the mob parts for a trio of hooded figures that walks to the end of the dock to await your vessel. And as your vessel docks, the insect men begin to tie off the ship as the hooded figures await your approach.
I guess we'll let you take the lead on this one.
Hello.
Greetings and welcome to the Isle of Dagon, Master L. Johnson.
It's such an honor.
They, each one of them presents you with a gift. The first hands you a bright silver crown. Sorry, a bright lead crown.
Thanks, I guess.
It would probably be something else. At
It
this
probably
point,
could
like
still be.
Electrum or
It could still
something.
be silver, honestly, because like the whole island phases out of reality, right?
But once it phased into our reality, it was just like
Wouldn't need the
No, I
silver
don't
stop
think
existing?
I don't think it's constant like that.
Okay.
I think it's a one-time burst.
aluminium or tin.
I mean, Electrum
I mean, it could be
bad
Electrum, but
either.
like that's super valuable. It could even just be a gold crown.
Is Electrum more valuable than gold? Oh, okay.
The second hands you a rod topped with your sigil.
Oh, excellent! A little
Like a seal stick.
a book with the flame burning above it.
That's your sigil?
That is my sigil.
Damn, I was hoping it was a hand going into a butt.
And the third hands you
The flame of knowledge.
a little platter, very, very nice, really like nicely decorated with a like a pastry on it, which is there's like a little fork next to it that he offers to you. Please, this is one of the special delicacies that we prepare here on the Isle of Dagon for our most esteemed guests.
What is it?
Oh, it is a special sweetmeat of our own making.
Baked Alaskan.
Oh, baked Alaskan. Yes, yes. I have to take the first bite as it's ceremony.
It pretty much is just one bite.
I cut it in half. And then fork it.
Alright, well, I guess you get half a dice larger on your spell checks for the next 4 hours in that case.
Well, I guess I have to eat the whole thing then.
Yeah, I mean, if you can tell, you can post the platter or the fork.
Lick the platter or eat the platter? It's Pothos.
Yeah.
Here you go, Pothos.
He eats the fork.
Jeez, look at that thing.
Here for your servants as well. And they hand you a set of 3 tabards, which all have your sigil
Oh.
emblazoned upon them.
Excellent. I'm sure they'll each love these. Pothos, you're wearing one.
What is it? What's it?
A tab. It's like the thing that you.
That Squires would
So,
like
like-
where it has the symbol on the front
No,
and
no.
back.
Oh, heck yeah. Put that thing on Pothos.
Yes.
There you go, Pothos.
Like a Three Musketeer, that thing?
So you know how
Yeah, not dissimilar, I
knights
think.
would they'd have plate and then they have the cloth thing over the center with the like they'll have imagery.
Yes.
That's a tabard.
Oh, I guess 4, so one for... what's his name? Quill?
Quill.
Quill.
It's Quill, Brian. It's Quill.
Quill.
He's the Star-Lord.
We wouldn't want anyone to mistake your property for someone else's, of course.
Well, they're only coin slaves.
Excuse me.
I
I'm not
ate
even.
your skin
That's
and you didn't even tell
You
me.
are a coin slave. I pay you for your time.
right, but that's just a worker.
A coin slave, yes.
I mean, if you want to be belligerent about it, I guess. Right, not the time to argue. He'll put on the tabard.
All right, you're right. My slaves would love tabards. They object to the term coin slave. Therefore, I'll use the term slave.
Look, he's been wrong about me this entire trip. We are mutual partners in pursuit of dethroning.
I don't think they care.
I know.
Then why are you bothering? They only want to hear from him.
I don't even know if they're people. They might just be more bug people that are summoned.
Oh, you can see that these are actual people.
Oh! Okay, good. Whew. Those bugs really give me the heebie-jeebies.
Oh, our servitors are most wonderful once you get used to them. They'll provide any service that you
I prefer
ask
invisible
for.
companions.
But invisible companions can't dance for you.
Sure they can.
Just can't say
You
it.
can't enjoy.
I clothe them, then make them dance.
Brilliant.
That
I
is.
didn't think of that.
It's actually a surprisingly spectacular show.
It's like a reverse strip club. It's because it's only the clothes
You have to
dancing.
put it
Only
on.
putting clothes on as they
You're like,
dance.
Well, but
Wow.
it's the only way you see their form is clothes.
Let me tell you, though, you don't want a really advanced one doing it. Weird forms.
Like I said, I'm married, but I'm not dead.
Married, not married.
Anyway, here you go. Quill, put this on.
Okay, sir.
Nice.
I put it on completely wrong.
Let me straighten that out for you. There we go.
Getting really close. All right.
Yeah. Let me just.
Okay.
There we go. Got that smudge off your head.
Okay. He spit on me, so I've put some of them in my mouth, and then he's thrown some of his bodily fluid on my forehead.
You know, I saved all those girls you go out with. I'm their savior.
You just called us slaves. So which? So do I
No,
get like
I
a
said
pick?
coin slave. Big difference.
Okay.
That implies you get paid for a job.
Nice. I hope I make it home alive so I can get at it.
You will. I don't know why anyone would kill you. You're just going to be holding torches or whatever. I don't expect you to fight. Does he expect you to fight?
No.
I
It's
know.
it's been dangerous. We've been trying to take down the Inquisition for a long time, and we've lost random people to torture or capture or whatever. So
I feel you. They killed everyone I knew, except for Edmund, who was asleep in the lower basement's bathroom at the time.
are you conscious most of your adventures? Are you just that much of a badass? Edmund's passed out. I heard you were passed out for a lot of the last adventure.
Oh, most adventures I'm awake. Edmund just fell asleep in the bathroom.
I heard you guys had to fall asleep in the Garden of Eden to figure out one of its treacherous traps.
That was a terrible, terrible day. Lost two people I met that day.
Coin slaves.
Yeah.
All right, well,
Yeah.
we've probably spent 4 hours, and now that the effect is over, so. But thanks for the tabard.
Excellent. What else?
Well, just to inform you, within the death matches themselves, you must enter without any spells already cast, and no magic items may be carried into the duels. Also, while melee is allowed, there are no ranged weapons and no poisons to be used.
What about explosive devices, non-magical?
No, absolutely forbidden.
What about a paste that you smear on a person then set on fire?
Forbidden.
What about I don't know when this would come up, but I need to ask, what if you have similar compounds inside of a glass vial that when you shake it, it glows? Why are you giving me that? What if one of the wizards casts darkness, okay? That's my light source. It's alchemic. It's not a magic spell.
We'll allow it.
There you go.
Well, we'll give him a wink and a
nod
nod.
and wink at each other in front of the guy.
Well, it's literally all it does. It's a light source.
Okay.
Now these servants will take you to the tower that will be
Oh!
yours.
Oh, no,
during
you said
your
outside.
stay.
Okay, yes, cool. Wait, tower?
Yes, you will be given your own tower for the duration of your stay
Excellent.
with us.
That's
Within
pretty
the
boss.
tower, you will be absolute lord, as is appropriate for any great wizard of your standing. You may request anything from our servitors during your stay, of course, as our esteemed guest. We do ask that you keep a careful eye on your property, as any unescorted individual may have their execution called for by a wizard at any time, and if their master is not there to demand a stay of execution, it will be carried out immediately by our servitors.
Okay, guys,
Don't wander off, I get it.
stick to the tower, and if you need to go out to go to the bathroom or whatever, let me know.
There's not going to be bathrooms in the bloody tower.
I don't know, do we have gnomish plumbing in the towers?
No, but there are, like, holes in the floor that you can poop down.
All this bloody magic and they can't even do plumbing.
It's surprisingly hard. It's really hard. I just get gnomish plumbing. I tried to solve it with magic. The best I could come up with is a teleport spell, but you know the thing about teleports at the low level magic?
It's not very far.
It's random.
Oh.
I
mean,
heard gnomish
It could be
plumbing
it could be a laugh.
is where you sit on the toilet,
Edmund had to clean it all up.
Oh, that's...
and a small gnome comes up the pipe, makes little squares out of your poop, just hauls them out on a cart.
I don't think you've had good gnomish plumbing. That sounds like cheap gnomish plumbing.
Actually, it sounds like kobolds.
Oh, maybe it is kobold plumbing. I
It's-
think that's
It's
kobold
not
plumbing.
plumbing. It's just a little tube they crawl through because they use it.
Technically plumbing.
Well, I guess
I just love the engineering behind it. It's just fascinating.
it's just a tube that a kobold.
I guess
Anyways,
which tower's mine?
These servitors will lead you to your tower, and of course keep in mind that any assault by a lesser on a wizard is immediately punishable by death.
Is it customary for me to tip you now, or?
I'm one of the masters of this island.
Okay,
I
good.
came to greet you.
I didn't know if. I'm sorry. I'm just trying to make sure I don't offend anyone.
Too late.
Well, I wish you luck in the coming battles, Master L. Johnson.
Why, thank you, and I hope to put on a great show and defeat Shao Kahn.
Buddy, guy. He just said he was a master, right? We never got an introduction.
Don't touch me, filth.
He can technically cast magic.
You want a martini? Gambrinus.
I will also say his drinks are magical. Maybe not literally, but they are.
They tingle the tongue. They tantalize.
But he does have access to some spells. I've seen it.
It's weird. I did for a time, but then the man keeps me down. It's like I lost my patron's blessing.
I've seen him go from how he looks now to buff as 6 oxes that have eaten 6 other oxes to get the strength of all of the oxes.
He invited
My
me to his
apologies. I'm glad you told me before I spit on him.
Yes. The dwarf has no magic whatsoever.
no, just door. Catch the spit in a sling and throw it. No, I'm just kidding.
Quill to the tower.
All right. So,
I got your line now.
All right.
you notice that all around the banners for Renox, the White Magister, and Cassica, the Corruptor, in particular, are being raised and paraded around, a sign that they will be the first contestants in the death matches later tonight. And at your leisure, the insect servitors will guide you to your tower, which I assume you are now ready to do.
Okay, yes, lead us to the tower.
At your command, the servitors do, taking you up along the causeways of the Isle. You pass by several locations on your way to the tower, so I'll just give you a quick summary. You leave the docks, and then you immediately pass a 3-story gatehouse. Do you want me to give you more detailed descriptions or less? Because you could theoretically come back here later.
We walk really slow.
Give you a quick...
Just like enough so we kind of know what it would be.
Sure. So you're going up from the docks to your tower over here.
So we're going through the streets to there. Okay.
Yeah. So you pass by... Well, you leave the docks behind. You pass by through a 3-story gatehouse, and then you pass by many smaller buildings on your way to the tower. All of the buildings on the Isle of Dagon are constructed from rough blocks of crudely worked stone, topped by steeply peaked slate roofs, and they're all stoutly built to stand against the ocean storms with hardy doors and windows. And you pass by many identical-looking houses on your way up to the tower.
Do we see any people in them, or is it all the servitors?
You don't see any people within the houses themselves, but the causeways are bustling with activity during the day. There's servitors going to and fro. You catch sight of the occasional wizard of the Black Order. They're usually accompanied by a troop of servitors who are larger than the others and armed with glaives in each of their arms. And you also notice like strange figures from some you assume are from other dimensions, because there's strange creatures with, tentacle limbs and eyeball heads, just all sorts that have come out to view the tournament. And the insect servitors lead you up to a squat circular tower which stands on a far precipice overlooking the water hundreds of feet below. Narrow stone steps rise to the single great door, an ominous portal with the look of a gaping devil maw. The tower is topped by a ring of battlements set with gore-crusted spears. The grim dour place must be home. Your own pennant flaps in the stale, hot ocean breeze.
Wow, how homey.
Bit of a downer. Well,
The
I guess
goat
he
likes
feels-
it.
well, if he is a hell goat, I guess makes sense.
Hell looked better than this.
Pothos goes frisking around the tower.
So we're supposed to.
I don't think I've ever seen him so lively.
So the tower has been prepared for you. The tower itself is 3 stories high. That includes the roof level, so 2 stories inside. The ground floor is a single chamber with a central fire pit. There's a rough wooden table set with stools and simple straw pallets for you non-wizard scum to sleep on. A broad wooden staircase rises to the 2nd level, where a grand bed, elegant study, and wardrobe have been set up for Bindel L. Johnson. The wardrobe is already filled with some lovely white robes which have been delicately stitched with Bindel's sign. And also waiting in the study is a simple tray, like an exquisite light tray, which contains a bottle of blood red wine and a single silver goblet. And then resting on a platter next to that are 2 more of the little pastries that you enjoyed when you first arrived, as well as 2 delicate-looking crackers smeared with pâté.
Brandlin Red. I hear this is a great vintage.
I thought it was all gone.
What are you doing in my room? Go down to your peasants' quarters.
Right, sorry.
And also from there, a second wooden staircase rises to the to a trapdoor that opens up onto the roof.
I want to try one of the pâté smeared crackers.
Well, first of all, it is delicious.
Mmm.
This gives you +3 hit dice to your hit points for the next hour.
Excellent. Very relevant. Okay.
That's a lot of HP.
Yes, but I don't feel like I'm going to get in combat in the next hour.
You start stabbing
Well,
yourself.
You did decide to eat it now.
Ooh, I can take so many more knife stabbings. I'll go to the roof. Look out from there.
Man, Bindel was a cutter.
Uh,
I had no idea. Must have been those nightmares.
There's a waist-high battlement which runs the circumference of the roof. From here, you can kind of see out along the rest of the aisle itself with the stone causeways rising up high all the way to the precipice of the aisle itself. I'm gonna sorry
Good.
about
It sounds
that.
like a mysterious map.
So here you go, a little peek at the shape of the aisle.
Huh. It really is like a mountain just jutting out of the ocean, like you said.
Well,
Sure is.
I like how there's like giant horn or teeth shaped like corners.
precipices.
Yeah, precipices.
Huh. Okay.
And then there's a moon gate. Or I assume that arch thing on
I think that's the
battle
building
arena.
That is a massive arch, and you are correct in your assumption.
Wait, Bindel's assumption.
Yes. And you can see the other wizard's towers from where you are. And you gotta say, yours is probably the least impressive out of all of them.
That's okay. I'll kill them and then take their towers, one by one. And then I'll have all of the towers.
You're the new kid on the block.
And then I'll go home, because these towers suck. Except for Pothos, I guess, likes them.
Wait, did Pothos go into your room?
Yep.
Pothos is fine in my room. Pothos is not really my pet, but kind of acts like my pet. I like Pothos. I project my personality onto Pothos, so I have someone worth talking to.
And of course Bindel would like someone he has projected his personality onto.
Exactly.
Sucks. I can't wander around peddling my Proud Brew ale.
We can go do that if you want.
I mean, some of these things don't even have mouths, let
I
alone
don't, know,
faces.
I don't know how much pate I can eat.
You know what? Nah, let's just kick it here.
Cool. Let's start a fire. Servitor, I want a big chunk of meat to put on the fire.
It nods its head and scurries off. Oh, just a fun little detail that I didn't really mention. They all wear their antenna backwards, kind of like
like
someone
slicked
slicking
back.
their hair.
Oh, and some ale of some sort.
Well, a second servitor scurries off to fetch that, and they quickly return with a huge cask of very nice ale, though it's not Proudmoore ale, let's be
I was gonna
real.
say I wouldn't mind trying some of your Proud Brew.
And
I think you'll get a chance.
they also return with a huge hunk of meat that is like a very nice cut. We're talking like high quality beef here.
Thank you. Do I have to give you a tip? How's this work?
It shakes its head.
Okay.
I imagine the Arbiters from Halo is what they look like.
Oh, the Sangheili, the elites.
Yeah, the elites. Yes.
They're not really bugs, are they?
They're not bugs.
No.
They have those fly that species with the.
Yeah, but those are like real small.
These are like big upright ants.
Yeah.
Oh, they're ants. I saw some of them fly, so I just assumed.
Oh, are they the Ant-Men?
That.
No.
No.
Oh. I thought they were related to the Ant-Men from Brandlin Red.
Were those men?
No, they were just big ants.
They were called
No,
the
but
Ant-Men.
they were called Ant-Man.
And
They didn't
Right, but they
look-
weren't like
No, they
bipedal. They were just.
They looked like big ants, but they were called ant-men.
Yeah, and the
very
actual art on the
confusing.
cover, they're bipedal, but never
Oh.
really says that again.
Oh, okay.
Oh. So they were bipedal on the cover art, but not on the in-game art.
Yeah.
Well, there's no in-game art of them.
Oh. Huh. Well, now I'm just more confused than
Yeah,
ever
right.
about what we play.
They could have been standing, I don't know. They didn't use weapons, so
Yeah.
not really men.
Just
Maybe
imagine.
they are distant relatives.
Okay, so who's cooking this? Can you cook?
Me?
Well, you...
Let me just say,
I'm just a little boy.
you let me prep up so my dragon scat, we can get this real roasted.
I think we'll just use the fire. I don't want to put explosives on it.
No, it's not an explosive. It's just a high heat burn. We'll sear it.
All
5
right,
minutes.
all right. I'll try some dwarvish cooking.
Hold on. Maybe I can get some side items with my food of the gods.
All right.
Just more Jello.
You don't. If I get it high enough, we'll have cattle walk up to us and offer themselves right to
It's
us.
an island.
I mean, they got meat from somewhere.
Probably dimensional portals.
Oh, maybe that's suppose.
Shredder, we got another order.
So just rig up some kind of spit, and he'll arrange.
Arbiter, I need a spit.
Moments later, one of the servitors returns with a large metal spit.
Servitor. Now I'm calling him Arbiter.
And he'll arrange it over the dragon scat, and he'll light it with his flint and steel, and then kind of do a slow, quick rotation of the meat over the high heat flame.
There we go. Yummy.
Oh, you're in for it. Let me tell you.
More than just yummy. I mean, not only is it cooked well, but this is pretty much the finest cut you can get in this day and age.
Excellent.
Wow, this is even better than I expected. It's a good meat.
All right. I don't have to chance disapproval. Excellent.
Does Pothos?
Oh yeah, Pothos will have some.
Pothos can eat anything. You saw how Pothos ate.
I don't know how Pothos feels about eating goat. That's the only thing I haven't tried.
It doesn't sound like he's a fan.
Okay.
But what if you deep fried
No,
it?
goat, you're all right.
It's like anything.
All right. Well, I guess let's go watch that fight. Is that tonight or tomorrow?
It's later tonight.
Let's go see that. Unless there's something you want to do in between now and then.
You think they got like a bazaar or a Dave and Buster's or something? Place to go day drinking?
Servitor, take me to a place where I can browse some shops. If there is one.
It kind of shrugs.
Okay. No, there's not one of those.
Nah, I didn't. Okay.
Thank
just
you.
ask.
And moments later, it returns with more ale,
Well,
having interpreted your request as such.
all right. What'd you get me? Standard beer.
A bunch of Guinness.
Coors Light.
Oh, excellent.
Oh, it glows.
Coors Light. I'm
Look,
like
the mountains are deep blue.
silver, purple. Anyways, I just pour it into the mop bucket because it's water. It just starts sweeping the floor. So I think
Whoa.
it'd be a Coors Light.
You're taking away Edmund's job.
No,
Get down in.
this is foreplay. Edmund.
What?
Edmund's important.
Listen to Edmund Zaboyum.
No.
He had a relationship with a wash bucket a long time ago. It's ancient history at this point.
They were in,
The object sexual all the time?
I don't think it was like a sexual relationship. His genitalia haven't worked in hundreds of years. We just talked about
You
that.
said a long time ago. 400 years is a long time ago.
not for Edmund.
Edmund's really old. Like, he was working back in the Egyptian palaces in his early days.
I remember when the Pharaoh finally let our people free.
Did he now?
That was a great day. Although I am happy to see the old gods returning. I mean, it was interesting when the Son of God showed up, but I do fancy the old ways.
Well,
I told you, he's really old.
how?
Well, he had an accident with a magical device when he was really young. Something about a meteor coming from the sky, and some weird guy showing him it.
All right. As we travel along, Danny, I don't suppose maybe there might this being a weird magical island that springs out of the ocean or whatever. Mortimer's just going to kind of keep an eye out to see if he can spot any of the ingredients and reagents that he might be able to use to craft his stuff.
Quite possibly, as an additional class. I don't really know what all your reagents are, but
I think
I'm
it's
sure you
all
can
like,
find, some.
subterranean stuff. Because it's all like dwarf stuff, right?
I mean, yeah, but it gives a price listings that I can purchase the kinds of stuff I would need in a market, I guess.
Yeah, I think you could have purchased that even at like the Great Library, though. I don't think you need necessarily anywhere special for it.
Okay.
Just drag a servitor and just start stabbing, just start doing some alchemy
Well,
with the body parts.
Either way, he's always just kind of passively on the lookout for that, but also this being a strange place, he might see if there are any other unusual ones that he could use to, like, experiment with the recipe.
Sure. As dusk falls, a great gong is sounded, which summons all on the island to come and view the first of the death matches. You make your way up the causeways towards the tournament ground, and along the way, you pass first a kind of like a square, blocky tower composed entirely of black obsidian, which you pass as you head up the causeway, leaving your tower behind.
Sorry, there is something I kind of want to do before we get to this. Can we?
It's too late now.
I was gonna ask if we could troll for rumors. I know in some adventures that's a thing.
You possibly could.
Okay, well,
Later.
we'll do that later then.
Hi, just a neighbor here looking for a cup of sugar. I'd like to hear you tell. Well, okay, I'll probably fuck off now.
As you continue upwards, you next pass a tower which resembles a blackened claw driven up through the heart of the island that raises 70 feet or more up into the air. And then further up, you pass a majestic crystal spire of a tower.
When you said my tower was the shittiest, I didn't realize you meant that, they gave me a fucking awful, and you're like, well, the next one up, 70 feet tall. Yours is about 28 feet.
Next, you pass what you could easily have mistaken at first for another one of the blockhouses, but it's kind of set back against the cliff wall, and it has some space around it, so you kind of get the feeling that this is a little bit more noteworthy than all the others, and but you kind of walk faster past it because of the stink of rotting seaweed that is just overwhelming here, and a steady ooze of mud that seeps through the this particular house.
That's that slimy wizard. It's gotta be.
Well, I don't think you do have the shittiest tower.
What if the tower's great, but the wizard inside's terrible?
Well, it kind of reflects on it, don't it?
We used to
I
have
suppose so.
we used to have a roommate like that. He drank so much Gatorade that his body turned into slime, an orange slime.
As you get further along, you can see another tower, one set atop a rocky spur. This solitary tower stands apart from the rest of the Isles buildings, and it's capped with a high peaked roof above a really nice balcony, and it's sort of an ominous tower which watches over the rest of the Isle. And then finally, as you approach the tournament grounds, you pass the last of the towers of the other wizards. And this one is a octagonal tower, 5 stories in height, and topped with a overhanging bretache, I think is how you pronounce that, and a steep sloping roof with a narrow stone bridge that you have to cross, being the only way to get to this particular tower.
Now, these ones, just Bindel's tower was adorned with his sigil. Are these also similarly
Yes, they
Okay.
are. The first that you passed was that of Renox, the White Magister.
How is that spelled, Danny?
Which one?
Bratash?
It's like British, but with an A.
Bretasche.
Man, I fucking nailed it. Except I'm missing the rest of the vowels.
It's when the top of the building is bigger than the thing it's sitting on.
Does that structurally
I
sound?
see.
It
Yeah.
doesn't matter. It's magic.
I like how we have like a fucking hour hike uphill to get to the goddamn arena too.
Whatever. It illustrates what we had to go through for production of Dorker Realms. So
And there are huge crowds walking along the causeways with you guys. And so finally you arrive at the tournament grounds. You see a black arch which climbs 100 feet into the air, which rises to a pair of high platforms. Composed of a glossy black stone formed in irregular lumps, the arch radiates a thin, oily miasma that befouls the air. And, yes, absolutely.
Tastes like magic.
The mist reeks of burnt flesh, and the oily cloud kind of settles on anyone that is ascending the arch, so the duelists in particular.
Probably undoes any magics you cast on yourself, eh?
I doubt it.
looks like St. Louis.
I guarantee someone's going to try and cheat. Not me, just to be clear.
That's good. I don't think they'd take kindly to it.
I don't either. It's a good thing they sent that message ahead of time. Don't cast fly.
There are huge swarms of onlookers already as you take your place amongst the crowd. And you can see Renox, the White Magister, ascending the steps to one of the two platforms, and Cassica, the Corruptor, ascending the other. And you can see now that you're closer that the span between the two platforms, which one would cross to ascend in melee combat, is composed entirely of the charred bodies of previously slain competitors. Renox is an aging man with a slim, bony frame, and he's got a bald head, and he has a gaping wound on his chest, which steadily seeps blood, an old corruption probably, and he has, as his attendants, waiting around the bottom of the steps to observe the match, 6 imps. I'm just going to give you guys a quick look at him.
Uh-huh.
Why would you just like have that left open?
Because you can't seal it.
No, I meant his like shirt, his cloak open.
Oh, because it's cool.
That's
It's
just,
like a badass.
I just imagine a bunch of flies like.
Also,
just
could you
laying-
imagine just having to constantly clean your clothes because it's seeping blood?
What? I'm just like open air wounds isn't exactly my cup of tea either.
Cassica, the Corruptor, on the other hand, her arms, legs, and face are kind of skeletal, and her ponderous belly sags low over her legs. She favors black robes, and she's attended by a company of 5 spear-wielding women warriors led by one particularly large warrior. And here we go, quick glimpse at her for you guys.
Big Rhonda. Oh, that's way different than what I was thinking.
This is why we teach magic at the Bindell School. Just look at what happens to all these wizards. They do it wrong and they get all fucked up.
I think she looks fine.
She's 28.
Well, I mean, she's look. I'm married, but she's like a 10. Come on, like Out of 28. She's definitely a 10. she's a 10 out of 28.
Oh, a 10 out of 28.
Right, I thought it was a much different scale in mine there.
It's kind of weird and arbitrary.
Yeah.
28?
It's not arbitrary. It's
Not arbitrary?
no arbitrary. I'd fud with that.
As the duel begins, Renox and Cassica quickly both attempt firing lightning bolts off at one another. Each lands, though Renox's spell breaks through Cassica's lightning bolt to deal a bit more damage and leave her wounded from the blow. Following this, Cassica moves a bit faster than Renox, and she casts a sleeping spell, which the aging warlock apparently has no counter for. As he falls asleep atop the high platform, he naturally slips from the arch and plummets hundreds of feet below to his death, where he splatters across the stone ground below.
Fatality.
Several of the insect servitors come to collect his body, while the greater mob of easily over 100 servitors tear their masks off and descend upon Renox's imps, which feebly try to put up a fight as they're torn apart and devoured by the servitors, who, having finished their meal, put their masks back on and disperse.
Oh my
I
god.
don't think it was made clear that we'd be part of this consequence.
The circle.
Don't worry, I'll win.
The circle of life.
Yeah, I think we better make sure of that.
Quill's like, this is awesome! Mortal Kombat!
Quinn, you know you'll be standing at the bottom of those steps when I go up, right?
Oh, Quill.
That's what I said, with a nice inn attached.
Wouldn't that be Quiln?
Kiln. You know about kilns.
Servitors, I'm done with this person.
No! I'm the goat's hands! That's why I'm a part of this party! I'm the goat's hands! It sounds really cryptic, but that was the reason. I was like, we need a goat with hands. So you just hire...
It sounds like a spy recognition. Like,
That's just,
are you the goat's hands?
that's the call and response. The goat's hands, the goat's hands. Ah, yes, and we're the bull's horns or something.
I'm the goat's hands! Morty, just be calm.
Several of the servitors carry off Renox's body as a grand palanquin is brought out, and Cassica is raised atop it and carried up to the peak of the island to celebrate her victory. Meanwhile, huge cheers go up from the crowd, and people start giving gifts of food and drink to the warrior company that escorted Cassica there. And as this is happening, banners are raised to announce the next death match to take place on the following day. Ilka the Fae versus Urzeth the Unbound.
That's the guy who has supposedly transcended his physical form.
Indeed.
That'll
No,
be
he's mortal coil. Different.
Was it that? All right.
So it's like Shang Tsung? Or
I've
is it
done
like
that
Korra?
too.
Really?
You squeeze out of it.
But you're like you're like you've got a chain. You're not unbound.
No,
Like,
from my
more
mortal
bound.
coil, I'm bound by knowledge. That's what the chain symbolizes. I am its master, though, not its mine.
That's how you enslave someone forever, is to trick them into thinking they're not a slave.
Anyway,
Give
more
me,
coins. Here you go.
give me a wisdom check, everyone. Wait, is wisdom a thing in this? Personality.
Personality.
That's
okay.
right.
Chutzpah!
Personality.
I got 15.
I got a 9.
I got 13.
Vox, what is your character's name again?
Mortimer Scrimjack.
All right, so as the festivities are winding down, well, actually, even during the match, Mortimer notices someone who is probably one of the competitors, a barrel-chested man with a flowing white beard that runs to his waist and a face pockmarked with corruption, leaning heavily on an ebony staff, seems to be paying particularly close attention to your little group from across the audience.
Mortimer's going to nudge Bindell L. Johnson in the calf and flick his beard in the direction of this old man.
How tall are you, Mortimer?
4 foot.
Okay.
I mean, yeah, I'd probably actually be jabbing him like
Pretty
in
good
the waist.
size for a dwarf.
Half human, remember?
Oh, right. Yes, that would do it.
That's gotta be
Impressive.
frightening as a sapper, though, because you'd want to be smaller to fit through holes.
No, but you got to have the nimbly.
Also, from my understanding, sappers are usually kind of on the, forgive me if I'm wrong, but on the outskirts of dwarven society.
They're not big fans. We don't like to trek in the armor and swing heavy things at rocks. It's boring. We like to lay explosives.
That makes sense.
Anyway, I think that might be probably the person I'm going to be matched against.
You think he already knows? I guess, well, how many? It was 7?
Yeah, I mean, it's got to be pretty obvious at this
Well,
point.
there's 2 you could face up against then, right?
Yeah, but maybe they posted the pairings and I didn't see it or something.
Quill waves at the guy.
I mean, he does probably have one of the bigger towers.
Everyone has one of the bigger towers.
Well, not Slimy.
Then he's like, "Are you
Slimy has a little hut.
like?"
I'm nice. It's glad we're not in there.
Yeah.
He turns and disappears into the crowd.
Oh, I don't say anything. I kind of like make less eye contact with Bindell, or Quill makes less eye contact with Bindell.
Don't worry, buddy. We'll get out of here alive.
Oh, jeez.
I kind of pat him on his back.
Okay.
I remember my first adventure.
Did a wizard talk to you about old men putting their penises in between young boys' thighs as a stranger?
The Tanner. Yes.
Oh, God. Well, Lionel. Now look, you can talk shit to me all you want, but please leave the boy alone.
I was just being friendly to him.
I know how friendly you are, but we're not that open, okay? We're not so cosmopolitan like you crazy sexual weirdos.
Now I'm just imagining Quill as a smaller version of Lionel, and it's like, don't talk to me or my son ever
Yeah, I'm
again.
now imagining him as Lionel's son.
Now you see here, that is my boy. Don't touch his milkshake.
Don't drink it up.
Don't fuck it up.
Well,
Back to the tower then,
I guess, unless there's somewhere we want to go. And by we, I mean you, and I'll accompany you.
Are
So
there-
you don't get killed.
Are there people to talk to near us, like at the crowd? Do they look like they speak in our tongue or have tongues to speak?
There are a lot of people that look like they have tongues to speak. I mean, this is a huge crowd. It's only some that are strange, extra-dimensional beings. There's also plenty of regular human folk here.
I would wonder if you've got to have an invite to get here. What's all these?
You,
live
sir.
here?
You there. How did you get here?
A broad-shouldered man with like a big chin turns to you and he's like, "Well, I heard about this in one of my travels and I thought it would be entertaining to come out here as a bit of a vacation from the battle that I've been fighting back in England."
Ah, yes. I heard that once someone knows the location of the island, even if they've never been there, they can find it.
Was that true?
I think one of my companions once studied under Renox, the White Magister, although rather unfortunate fate he just met.
Thank you, kind sir.
No problem. You look terribly familiar. Have we ever met before?
Maybe. Where you travel around normally?
Well, I spent most of my time in England. I started as a hireling for another magician of sorts, but sadly my master passed away.
Are you the one that sued Ari?
Oh, you traveled with Ari?
Yes.
Yes,
Ari
that's
was one
me.
of my original companions. Mungo.
Mungoson. Yes,
Yes.
at your service. You must be Bindel L. Johnson.
Oh, I've heard great things.
Oh, thank
Ari
you.
said you were the only competent person in that party besides themselves.
Oh, I think my master Dieter was a fine man. He just made a terrible bet.
Yes, that's bound to happen when knowledge is on the line.
Well, isn't that always the way?
Good meeting you, Mungo. Do you need anything from one of the servitors?
Oh, no, I've got a ship down at the docks. We're well stocked up.
Excellent. Well, if you need anything, I'm in the lowest tower. Come anytime.
Oh, thank you. I might pop by for a drink later. It's
Excellent.
a pleasure meeting you.
It's nice to meet you, Mungo. Have a great evening.
You too.
Wow. Small world, huh?
I wouldn't have thought so, no, but small. Well, it's a big island as well. What are the odds of that?
Oh, pretty good. Things line up like that all the time in my book.
Catch Mungo and Mungo Nights. 4 a.m. to 5 p.m.
Well, let's get back to the tower, I guess.
All right.
You know what? Maybe I can get the arbiters, the
Servitors?
servitors, to find us a nice Connect 4 set. Huh? Can have a nice, exciting game of Connect 4. Game of Kings.
Wasn't that in that book?
What?
In the book, what you were talking about when Mungo had the lawsuit.
Yeah. But it's still a game of champions. All gentlemen play Connect 4. Everyone knows that.
Well, I'm not a gentleman, so I'm sorry I didn't.
I'll get a deck of cards, too.
All right.
So I'm still on the, if you talk to my boy, I'll break you. I'll break your back.
You don't think it might be a bit traumatizing for him if you present him with some Connect 4?
Not him, for us, to just play.
Oh, right,
I'm
okay,
trying to pass
gotcha.
the evening.
Yeah, all right.
We get
You
some,
can teach me.
Yeah, excellent. That'll be a great way to spend our evening. And wait till tomorrow, when the next episode of Dorker Realms will continue. Unless there's other stuff that'll happen between now and then that will still be on the next episode of Dorker Realms, because this is the end of this episode.
Cool, blimey.
Thanks for listening. Follow us on the Twitters. Join our Discord to talk to Bindel L. Johnson. I hear he hangs out there a lot. Leave us a nice iTunes review. And remember, #Eat Lions.
#Eat Lions. That does it for today's episode of Dorker Realms. Thanks for listening, and don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and most importantly of all, tune in next week.